Let's talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does, why is it doing what it's doing. Get it out of my face.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show, episode 1 of Tales from the Misfits podcast. What this show is it's taking inspiration. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Thing with Two Heads podcast done by Sean Clark and Sir Christopher Nelson. But it's taken some inspiration from that. It's taken some inspiration from You Need a Horror podcast with Nick from Lost River Drive-In, and then Christian from Planet CHH. Basically just two dudes hanging out talking about shit in a very chilled, like laid-back environment. Sometimes we might have a predetermined topic like we do for this episode. Sometimes we might just hit record and talk about whatever. Sometimes we might have a guest. Sometimes we might go live. Who the fuck knows what's going to happen on this show, honestly. But I'm here with my co-host, Chad Sumner from Rough Chud Productions. He is the fan film boogeyman. He's played Jason Voorhees. He's played Michael Myers. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
How you doing? What
good.
You got going on?
I got some stuff brewing. So, yeah, gearing up for TLN 2, but I got some other stuff. Yeah. So, should be fun.
Do you want to explain what that is for anybody who doesn't know? You want to put it on the radar a little bit? Yep.
No.
No?
I'm just kidding. Last Nightmare Part 2.
Yes, The Last Nightmare Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
It is a... go ahead if you want to. Go ahead.
Which is a sequel to Part 1, obviously, but they're both sequels to Haddonfield Nightmare. So if you haven't checked that out, go check those out. Those are sequels to H2O. So if you're a fan of H2O.
Yeah, so basically, yes. If you guys want a continuation of the H2O timeline, check out the Haddonfield Nightmare. That is Part 1. Then watch The Last Nightmare Part 1, because it's a two-parter, which someone needs to talk to Brain about those titles.
Yeah, right?
And then The Last Nightmare Part 2, which you guys are gearing up to start working on soon, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. That's cool. What else?
I'm excited.
What else is it?
Other than that, just working, man. Just working and,
here.
you know.
Yep, that's about my life as well. Mid-30s, you go to work every day, you come home, and then just try to chill, you know? Maybe watch a couple movies here and there. And
pretty much.
What have you been watching lately? Anything good?
I saw Bloodlines.
No shit.
That was pretty good. I enjoyed that. I saw Fight or Flight. What was that other one?
That's the Josh Hartnett one, right?
Josh Hartnett one.
Yeah.
The Accountant 2 I saw. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Companion was really good. I finally saw that. I saw Novocaine. I've just been seeing all the ones that have been coming out, man. The one with Bill Skarsgård and Anthony Hopkins, Locked, where he's in that car, he's in that smart car or whatever.
Oh, shit. I don't think that one was on my radar.
Yeah, it's a remake. I didn't know it was a remake. It's a remake of a foreign film. And, yeah, you know, Bill Skarsgård plays this guy down on his luck, you know, and he's, you know, trying to see what cars are open, and this really nice car. It looks like a tricked out, like, Range Rover or something, you know, is open. So he gets in, he tries to hotwire it, but then, you know, phone calls and he doesn't answer it, but he can't get out of the car. And then he finally does answer it, and it's Anthony Hopkins. And it was actually pretty good. I wasn't expecting a whole lot from it, but I was actually surprised. They made a nice little cat and mouse type thing. It was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. I'll have to put it on my watch list and definitely check it out, because it's so hard to try to stay up on top of things these days because there's so much shit coming out, and there's so much that I'm interested in. Because if I'm not interested, like, I simply probably won't watch it. Like that Snow White remake from Disney, I have no interest in that. Maybe I'll watch it one day on a rainy day, but I don't give two shits about that movie.
I have zero interest in any live action Disney movies.
I am looking forward to Lilo and Stitch. The Lilo and Stitch one actually does look kind of fun.
I mean, Lilo and Stitch was way past my time anyway, so I was never a fan. So I can care less. But yeah, the original, I mean, we were talking about this in some of our private groups, but just the nostalgia of a Disney release in the 90s. It just felt like a big deal.
Yeah, because you had all the fast food companies going with it too.
Yeah, but I mean, like Disney Channel, when that was a thing, I mean, it was just like, for months, or like probably half the year, I think there was build up, maybe even longer than that, to things like, Lion King, or, whatever. Tarzan, like that was a big release. That was a big one.
Yeah, it was.
Anyway, I'm getting thrown off, but yeah, I just have no patience for the live action ones. We watched like maybe 10-15 minutes of the Aladdin. I turned it off. I'm not watching this. I'm sorry.
The Aladdin one I didn't mind, actually, because there are some. That's the thing. There are some that I have absolutely no interest in whatsoever, and there are some that I will kind of check out. And sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not so good. But there are just ones like Snow White that I just don't care at all about. But anyways, I say that because
Megan 2.0.
If I'm not interested in something, and I know I'm not interested in something, like I'm not going to be in a rush to watch it. So I'm only trying to keep up with stuff that I actually want to see.
Right.
I still got to see Sinners. That hits digital this week. So we'll check that out probably next weekend. I got to watch Bloodlines, which again, I don't think there's a date yet, but I heard somewhere in the middle of June, which does sound about right anyway.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
So probably in a few weeks, I'll be able to check out Bloodlines finally. So yeah, I'm still behind on some myself, but I did see Companion. I'll go ahead.
Yeah, no. Companion was really, really good. But
yeah, I liked it. It was good. I saw Companion. Novocaine was a lot of fun. It gave me. We were talking about this. It gave me vibes of Nobody with Bob Odenkirk. Very excited for that sequel coming out this summer.
And I love how Jack Quaid can switch it up. He can play such an asshole piece of shit, but then he could be so fucking charming and likable. It's great.
And they're already talking about a sequel. They're like, we have some ideas if we're able to do it. So I mean,
dude, I didn't realize that was the girl from fucking Prey.
Is it? Oh shit!
Yeah, in Novocaine. I was like, she looks fucking familiar. Who is that?
Well, see, I didn't see Prey yet. I still haven't watched that.
Oh, you haven't watched Prey? Oh shit!
I hear it's great, but that's probably why I didn't think nothing of it. But
yeah, okay. I was like, I know her, and then I saw her name. I think it's Amber Midthunder. I think.
Oh yeah.
If I'm messing up the name, I'm sorry, but I was like, oh wow, okay, cool. So,
did you watch The Monkey yet?
Yes, that was the other one that I loved.
I had fun with that.
Monkey and Companion are my top 2 fucking movies this year so far.
My top 2 right now is The Monkey and Freaky Tales, which is one with Pedro Pascal and Ben Mendelsohn's in it. It's set in the 80s. It feels like the 80s when you're watching it.
Yeah.
It's super fun.
Actually, let me rephrase that one. All the movies I've seen have been pretty fucking good.
It's been okay. Yeah, I saw a couple that I haven't really liked so far.
Bloodlines, like, you'll appreciate Bloodlines. I mean, I'm sure you've already heard about the scene.
I hear it's pretty damn good. Like most people that I see say it's either their favorite or their favorite of the sequels. Like it's usually like one of those two. For the most part, you have some people out there who didn't like it, but that's I definitely see the majority on the positive side.
Of course.
So, yeah.
Honestly, because I just recently rewatched the previous 5, and
yeah, so did we.
I still love the first 3. 4 is dog shit. 5 is a step in the right direction. 6, honestly, oh man, it could be a top 2. I can also see where it could be people's number 1. I can definitely see that. It's just hard to beat that initial one though for me, I mean, unlike Friday, where I could care less about the original Friday. Like, don't get me wrong, I appreciate it. I like it. It's a good watch. It is. It's a good watch. It sets up a lot, obviously, but honestly, I take or leave it. You know. But the first Final Destination movie, it was just so different from anything else. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, a slasher film with death as the slasher. I mean, that's just, you know. But you know, every Final Destination film's fun, but
Yeah.
there obviously are some shit ones.
Yeah,
Not
that
the good ones, but, you know.
first one, at the time that I saw it, I didn't know that it was based off a Twilight Zone episode because I hadn't watched the Twilight Zone at that point yet in my life. I
Yeah.
saw Twilight Zone way later. So yeah, it was definitely different for me at the time, but little did I know that idea, that premise at least, has kind of existed already. But it's really a franchise that I think can keep going for as long as they want it to. Yeah, you're gonna have
Pretty
some that are
much.
better than others. They're not. None of them are great movies, I would say. At least up until Bloodlines,
I
I
mean-
wouldn't say that any of them are great movies, but they're fun movies.
I would say the first two are genuinely great. Maybe the first three, because, well, maybe not great, but the first one's probably great. I would say, as far as
For
a
the most
horror
part.
film goes.
Yeah,
As far as a horror film goes, it's. I mean, they could have cast someone better than Ali Larder. I said that a bunch of times. I'm
yeah,
not
you're
a
not
fan.
a Clear Rivers fan.
I'm
yeah.
still not a fan. When she died, I laughed again.
Jesus.
Like, you stupid bitch, you had to take Eugene with you. You fucking selfish whore. No, it's that fucking face she makes at the end when the fucking
That
billboard's
looks
about to
dumb
go.
as hell.
Like-
yeah,
Alex. Like,
yeah. I'll give you that one.
oh.
Yeah, like
awful.
I love the first one. The second one I think is just okay. I think obviously premonition wise, again up until Bloodlines, it's definitely the best premonition in the whole franchise. Is the second one. Three is my favorite. Again, it's the quality is definitely dipped by 3, but that's the one that I always have the most fun with. Plus, I'm a big fan of Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and
I
again,
always
growing up
forget
in that.
fucking Decker is in.
Yeah,
fucking
I was gonna say,
number
like, growing up
3.
in that era of Disney
Deckard.
Channel and him knowing him from like Luck of the Irish and Halloween Resurrection and shit. So like 3 is always gonna be my favorite because of that nostalgia to it. And then 4's dog shit, but it does have its, like we were talking about the escalator scene. That escalator scene is just as good as anything.
That one's cool. Yeah, the scene's cool, but
yeah.
I mean,
The fake out's
watching
bullshit.
it was just so bad. The dialogue
it's rough
is
to get
so bad.
Dude, the fucking pool scene alone. I mean, come on. And the
That
premonition
one-
being a fucking car crash, like a fucking at a racetrack.
Yeah,
like that's so dumb.
It's pretty. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they came out and said that one was supposed to be a comedy, because
Shit.
honestly, I think it was made to be a comedy.
I mean, I laugh
If
at it.
you
I'm not
watch
gonna lie
it,
to you.
it's pretty fucking. It's so stupid. It's
Yeah.
laughable. It's like
It is.
and that's what we did. We just laughed. It was like, this is just awful. Like, what the fuck are we watching?
And
But-
and then you get to 5. So again, going into 5, my expectations were already lowered because of 4, and
Right.
it blew me away. Granted, it's not like the greatest thing ever, but I was like, wow, this is so
No.
much better than what we previously got.
Yeah, but it was definitely 4 is definitely the bottom of the franchise.
Yeah,
by
for
far.
sure. Yeah, and I think
Um,
most people will agree with that.
Yeah, by far. It's serviceable, like the way we saw Jigsaw and fucking what was it, Saw 5? Or is it 5 or 4?
Oh, Saw 5 maybe?
5, I think. It's serviceable, like those are serviceable as Saw films.
Sure.
It's passable, but it's like it's a tough fucking watch.
Yeah. But no, I really enjoy 5. 5 right now being at my number 2 spot. I would
Really,
just a
that
quick ranking
high?
for everybody. Yeah, I'll do a proper video once I actually see Bloodlines. But for now, anyone who's listening to this episode, I'll just give you my quick ranking. I would go from best to worst, or at least favorite to least, that way. I'll go 3, 5, 1, 2, and then go a few more notches, and then 4. So
Okay, fair
that's
enough.
kind of where I sit with them.
Fair enough.
Do you want to give your quick ranking while we're at it?
As of right now, it could change. We could maybe do a video later. It could change once Chris sees, the new one.
Yeah.
And then of course, Danner and Filthy.
Mhm.
Because that feels like an all four of us type thing. But anyway, right now, unofficial, I would say 1.
You want to put Bloodline? I was saying you want to put it there, don't you?
1, Bloodlines. 2, 3, 5, and 4. 4 will always be at the bottom.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with that.
5. There's just a few things that I have to nitpick with 5, but for the most part, it's pretty passable. But like the other ones are just so fucking good to me.
Mm-hmm.
It just, I mean, we could really get fucking technical and say, I mean, if we really wanted to, we could have like fucking 5 countdowns of these. We could say which ones are the fucking top premonitions. What's your worst to
we
best
could get so many
endings.
rankings out of Final Destination.
Yeah, I mean, because the ending to Final Destination 5 is just like the cherry on top of the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
If you
it's the chef's kiss.
Yeah, if you didn't make any more, that would have been the perfect way to end it.
I would have been fine with that, honestly. Yeah, like
I mean,
I'm happy we got another one, but I also would have been happy if it ended with 5.
Right, but there's no other fucking franchise that can say that right now. There's no not Friday, not fucking Halloween with all the fucking bullshit timelines that they have. Not Nightmare, not fucking Chucky. None of them can say if Final Destination did not make Bloodlines and just let it go and ended it with that would have been the best book-ended franchise.
Yeah.
I mean, it would just be up there. But I mean, now we have Bloodlines, which is fine. I don't mind that. So it'll be interesting to see where they go from here, but I hope that they can still connect it. And hey, they name dropped Kimberly from part 2, so
no shit.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Shit, no, you're fine.
Sorry.
I'm sorry for anyone else who's listening who hasn't seen it, maybe didn't.
I'm sorry.
That doesn't bother me.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to say who does, but I'm just whatever. Anyway, that's it. Sorry.
But that's cool that she gets a little wink to her because, going back to Final Destination 2, while it is iconic, you don't see that one get brought up in like the other ones really. Like no one talks about 3 or 4 or anything like that.
They killed Michelangelo.
Mm-hmm.
Because they cheated death. They killed Michelangelo at the end of that movie. That's who did the voice and motion capture for Michael Bay's fucking Ninja Turtle movies.
Oh, I was like, Michelangelo, what the fuck are you talking about? Speaking of Ninja Turtles, those of you who are watching your screen, I got this. Oh, where did I get this from? Gutter Garbs? I think it was Gutter Garbs.
Yeah.
It's it's the 35th anniversary shirt for the 1990 movie. You got Casey and April and Shredder. I fucking love this design. They got a poster too. I might actually have to get that and fucking hang it up back there.
I have my old figures somewhere. I had them out displayed, but fuck, dude, I love the Ninja Turtles so much.
I do too. There's so much I want to do to this fucking room, but it's such a small room and I'm very limited with space, so it makes things hard. But I do have like a vision of what I want to do with it, but it's gonna take a long time to get done. So throughout different videos, you guys may see things like shipped around and changed back there somewhere. Don't mind me. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. But so yeah, I figured for this first episode we would kind of talk about our upbringing in terms of, why we're film fans, how we're film fans, and then, well, that'll kind of take us into going into the pros and cons of physical and digital media, because I think there's pros and cons to both.
For sure,
But
there is.
to put the audience back into your shoes, kind of for them to get to know you a little bit, when did you first like kind of really fall in love with movies? And back in the day when you were growing up, what was your movie watching experiences like?
um, Great. Um, I mean, I got influenced by so many people. My dad, my mom, and all separately too. Never together, all separately. So my dad, who liked, car movies, action movies, whatever. He's not a horror guy. Fucking the most horror he's ever watched was My Special Boy at the premiere. I mean, he's not a horror guy at all. Um, he at the sight of blood he faints when they said when I was born he wasn't even in the room because he would faint. So
Oh, wow.
they went out and told him to, congratulations, the baby boy, he passed out right there, and my uncles had to scoop him up off the floor. My mom, who was influenced by her older brother, so she liked everything from chick flick to comedy to action to horror. I mean, some of her favorite movies was Halloween, Aliens, and Twister.
Yeah.
And Child's Play. My uncle was a horror fan. He introduced me to a lot. He's the one who gave me my nickname Chud. And then my grandpa. As kids, when my parents working all the time, me and my sister spent a lot of time at our grandparents. So my grandpa and my grandma, when she was alive at the time, they would buy every single Disney movie on VHS. So we had that whole freaking collection.
All them clamshell cases. Yeah.
Oh man. And then like I had all the fucking Ninja Turtle VHS. My grandpa had a bunch of different movies. I mean, Lethal Weapon. I got so many, and they were all on VHS, and then obviously later DVD and stuff and stuff like that. But I still have some of my grandpa's VHS that they're like packed away. But that's how and that's when like VHS art was at the peak. I mean,
yeah.
some art, obviously, because walking in Blockbuster, you need something eye catching. But I'd even have the bootlegs where my uncle would record, Joe Bob on the USA Network,
yeah.
or these horrible, or what's the other one? Mystery Science Theater, 3000?
Mystery Science Theater, Monster Vision
Shit like
was
that.
the Joe Bob.
Monster
yeah.
Vision. But he would, there was what was it? The Hidden with Kyle MacLachlan and Ed Ross. That was a good one. That was a recorded one. Then I later got the VHS of that one. But yeah, I mean, I think that's how I even watched. I think it was Child's Play 3, because that was the first Child's Play that I was introduced to because of my uncle. He showed me that one. And I think I remember why, because I think he told my mom it was like the best one for a kid to watch at the time, because it was kind of, 3 is kind of like a step. We all know 3 is a step down, but for me,
I really love 3,
that,
but yeah, it is a step down from
same.
1
For me, I mean, I can admit that about some of them, but honestly, I love that one.
I do too.
Because of that, I think.
Fan.
And every time it came on, like, in the holidays or the Halloween season, when it was on, AMC or whatever.
Fear Fest.
Fear. I always would love.
I'm gonna talk about that in my origin story. Yeah.
So, got through a lot of tough times with movies growing up. So
Yeah.
I have and that's like a lot of people. They have that special connection.
Now,
But
when you were growing up, did you mainly go to the theater to watch movies, or did you prefer to like watch them on like VHS through like via Blockbuster or whatever? What was kind of like your preference if you had to choose?
I mean, when I was a kid, it was mostly like Batman or a lot of kid centered movies at the time, and then like the late '90s, it started getting into more, like Armageddon in the theater was insane. Small Soldiers. I mean,
damn.
The Phantom Menace, dude.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah,
I was 10
we talked
when
about
that
this on
came
a
out.
live show of like the cultural phenomenon
Yeah.
that was the
I
release
mean,
of the Phantom Menace.
Until Avengers Endgame and all that shit happened and came,
There was nothing like it.
it was a pretty big deal. And have you seen that movie Fanboys?
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
got a great cast in there too.
Yeah, it's not the best comedy, but it's a pretty good comedy based on the Phantom Menace. For those who haven't seen it, go watch it. It's a pretty good watch.
It is.
But
Like Jay Baruchel's in it, Kristen Bell, Dan Fogler. There's a bunch of people.
Chris
in that movie.
Marquette from Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah, a lot of cameos. So
Seth Rogen, William Shatner, Ray Park, who played
Ray
Darth
Park?
Maul.
Yeah.
You want the job, you got to wear the suit.
Man, Fanboys is a great one. I'll probably have to do a review on that one at some point for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let me know. I'll join you on that. But yeah. I mean, some of the movies I can say I've seen in theaters have been some of the greatest like theater experiences. Even like the newer like TMNT movies, just going and seeing those in theaters was cool, because I want to say I went and saw the third one in theaters way back in the day. Even X-Men in 2000, dude, that was a
big one too.
Dude.
Yep.
I saw Mission Impossible 2 in fucking theaters, and that was a big deal, Riddick in theaters was a cool thing. It's the seed of Chucky, I mean. Ooh, Dawn of the Dead 04. Seeing that in theaters was a pretty big deal. I did enjoy that one. That was a lot of fun. The Resident Evil movies, those were always a fucking...
Oh yeah, I was there.
Yeah, the Resident Evil, the Saws, I mean...
Underworld was another one around that time too.
There's so many, dude.
Action,
we got spoiled with movies.
We really did, man. That was that was a good time. That was a good time to grow up in, for sure.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I agree. Some people would say the 80s, but honestly, the 90s and early 2000s was pretty fucking legit.
Yeah, like I get nostalgic for the 80s, but the thing is about that is I wasn't there. You know what I mean? Like
exactly. Like it would have been cool.
I'm sure it was great growing up in the 80s. Like I love everything 80s music, movies, the fashion, fucking all the little trends from back then. But I don't have that actual life experience with it to really have that attached. But 90s and 2000s, I was there, man. Like I lived that shit.
Dude.
So, for me, the first movie that I can vividly remember seeing in theaters, and it was the last one of this franchise to go into theaters, was Home Alone 3.
Definitely saw that in theaters, yeah.
Yeah, that was like the first one that I actually like have like vivid memories of. And then after that, I seen a whole slew of shit in the fucking theaters. And I mean, good movies, bad movies, you name it. But and I loved going to the theater as a kid. It was one of my favorite places to grow up. But my absolute favorite place to go was definitely video stores. And back then, I didn't give a shit which one it was: Blockbuster, Hollywood Video, Movie Gallery, Family Video. Some little mom and pop shops are always really cool. I always preferred video stores over the movie theater, but the movie theater experience was like no other with certain things, for sure, because like I said, Star Wars The Phantom Menace, Freddy vs. Jason was another huge
I didn't mention that one, but yes.
Saw, seeing the first Saw, like seeing the first Saw, absolutely changed my life.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, and we covered that too. Go check out Soft Files for that, boys and girls.
Yeah,
Or
yep,
the reviews that we've done.
So yeah, there was definitely some good times in the theater. And then not to get too personal quite yet on this podcast. Maybe I will a little down the road because maybe this will be therapeutic. Who the hell knows? But growing up, I didn't have the best or closest relationship with my folks. So I was with my friends a lot, I was with like cousins and shit that I didn't really hang out with much, but they're family or whatever. So, and together we would watch a lot of fucking movies. And that's how I saw a lot of things for the first time. I remember Friday nights, no matter what, after school, it was always, we're ordering pizza and we're going to fucking Hollywood Video. Cause that was always like my go-to spot. So yeah, and that was like our deal. We did that. We played games, like video games and shit all night on like Sega and Super Nintendo, N64, PlayStation, you fucking name it, man. Like we really did kind of grow up in like the best time because technology was evolving. We had a lot of cool shit to do, but we also went outside and like had life experience and had adventures with our ragtag group of friends. You know what I mean? Like, whereas kids today, a lot of them kind of just stay inside. They're on all the other devices and stuff. So I think we were definitely in that sweet spot in the middle. And it was definitely a good time to grow up in. But there's a couple particular movies that like really changed my life and made me like a true film fan. Like obviously The Crow is one of those. Like I saw The Crow for the first time and I was so blown away, and I was like, I want to know more about behind the scenes stuff. Like, how did they make this? Like, those costumes look cool. I want to know more about that. So that's when I started getting into like behind the scenes stuff. The Crow changed my life for that. Another big one for me was Clerks, the original Clerks from Kevin Smith. And again, once going into the behind the scenes and finding out, kind of what happened with Clerks and how Kevin worked in this convenience store, and in the middle of the night when he wasn't on the clock, he and his friends would go in there, lock the doors, and make a little fucking movie for not really a lot amount of money. I mean, to them it was a lot of money, but you know what I mean? Like, not by like Hollywood so I'm like, if this guy can fucking make a movie, maybe I can make a movie one day too. So that was also a really big important. And
let's see, what was the budget?
There's a handful of movies like that really kind of literally made me who I am. That phrase that Netflix has as a show too. The movies that made us. Sure. There are definitely movies that made.
Oh, for sure.
100%. So like, what are some of the ones that kind of stand out for you?
In the movies that let's see. Bad Boys. I'm going to throw a couple from a bunch of different genres here.
Go for it, man.
Bad Boys, Lethal Weapons, Die Hards, the Rambos, the Fridays, the Halloweens, the Aliens, the fucking Predators. But then, stuff with John Wayne. And then, newer stuff like Tombstone, Quick and the Dead, Face Off, Con Air, The Rock, Liar Liar, The Pink Panther, the early series, Foul Play, Fletch.
Oh, man, Fletch is so good.
I mean, all the animated fucking Disney movies, name one, all of them fucking.
Yeah, take your pick, right?
Yeah, up until like 2002, I'd say 4
or 5, maybe. Yeah, I'd give it to at least like 4 or 5.
I dipped out about 2000. Well, when did Freaky Friday come out? 03?
That was 2003, yeah.
So I'd say maybe I lasted till 03, but that was pretty much...
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I can argue that.
Heat,
Fucking classic.
Naked Lunch, Scanners, RoboCop, Terminator. I mean, the list can go on and on. I mean, there's so much. I mean, for a long time, Usual Suspects was my favorite movie. Was my favorite fucking movie. No matter what mood I was in, I could put it on and just watch it over and over again. If I get busy playing on my guitar, or I could put it on while playing video games. I could put it on while taking my guitar apart and cleaning it and putting it back together, or whatever the fuck I was doing. If I was rearranging my movies, if I was rearranging my CDs, if I was doing whatever, I could just put it on and almost recite it word for word. That was like my movie. So maybe it's Usual Suspects. That was like my movie. And all the films I like. I don't gotta tell you, but that was my movie, and that probably set up a lot as far as like story structure. Okay, that and fucking Pulp Fiction. Those two films. When I first saw Pulp Fiction, I was pretty young. I was like maybe 10, 11. I didn't understand.
Did a lot of that go over your head at the time?
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. But like, I saw a lot of movies I probably shouldn't have pretty young, but whatever.
You and me both, brother.
I mean, everybody. I mean, who gives a fuck?
Right.
Yeah. When I saw those, I mean, even like that type of non-linear storytelling, like I said, when I was young, I didn't understand shit. But then, like, as I watched it more, and then I started understanding more, and then I started understanding film more. I mean, because you gotta watch the good and the bad. Even though there's bad and they suck and you'll probably never watch it again, you gotta watch some of them sometimes.
Yep, you gotta have those experiences too,
Yeah, and that's why I tell Bert to go fucking watch Bad Biology and shit like that, or One-Eyed Monster.
One-Eyed Monster.
Brad, you like it, dude. You don't have to lie. But anyway, you have to watch stupid fucking movies like that. I mean, Zombie Strippers. Do you remember that one? With fucking Jenna Jameson and fucking Robert Englund.
Yep, me and my best friend watched that, and I think like freshman year in high school, like we could buy the DVD or something, and we just kind of popped in, and we're like, "Fuck yeah!" Like this is so much fun.
my uncle has he passed a couple years ago when Chucky started, because I remember I texted him and I never got a text back, and that's why. But he was he was a big reason why. I mean, he nicknamed me Chud. And all of my Christmas, birthday cards, all that, I was Chud. And then sometimes he'd put Chad, and he put cannibalistic humanoid above ground dweller. So I was like, all right, cool.
Sounds like a great guy.
But dude, we would have what he would call zombie night, where me and my mom would go over to his house and he'd cook. He'd look up some random recipe and cook it, because he wanted to experiment. He was divorced and he was living alone again, and this was before he moved up north where he spent his last few years. But he was finishing out work at the Air Force Base. He was an artist down there, but for like the last couple of years, he literally had no work to do, so he would just surf the internet. He would download music, and he would look up some of the gnarliest movies, sometimes just based on gore alone. And so that's where a lot, like One-Eyed Monster, Bad Biology, Machine Girl,
I gotcha.
Tokyo Gore Police, Usual Suspects. I remember at the time when Very Bad Things came out on VHS.
Yeah.
We had moved in with my grandparents, and my grandparents went on a cruise in Mexico or something. So we were there on our own. So my uncle comes over, and he has Very Bad Things, and we couldn't watch it yet. So me and my sister go back to bed, but I can still hear them. My dad, my uncle, and my mom are watching the movie, and my dad's just freaking out. You can hear him freaking out the whole thing. Like, you sick sons of bitches, fuck you. He was a big baby when it came to blood, but and you just hear my uncle and his evil fucking like Jack Nicholson laugh. It was great. And he reveled in it. Fucking Silent Night, Deadly Night. He got my grandma to dress up as Santa with an axe.
Oh, nice.
And knock on the front door, and my cousin Melody, who was freaked out over that movie, answered it.
What is she? Yeah.
But that's just how my uncle was, and he loved horror. He loved sci-fi. A lot of it I owe to him. My music taste, my movie taste. He was for a while when my dad was kind of absent. He was a real big father figure. So,
that's good.
But he would also bring me in. He would introduce me to action movies. Like, have you ever heard of the Long Kiss Goodnight?
Yeah. Sam Jackson.
Fucking A. And Gina Davis and Craig Burko or whatever. The guy from Scary Movie 4.
Yeah.
That? Yeah. Anyway.
He's in Dickie Roberts, former child star, right?
Dickie Roberts.
Yeah, he's in that too.
Dude, he's also in another movie from I think it was 99. Which we got to do a review on some years here, because 99 and 98 are some of the most
heavy
99 is considered 99 is considered the greatest year, and it might be. But do you remember the 13th Floor?
I've heard of it. I don't think I ever saw it.
Okay, Craig Burko's in it, and it's a sci-fi fucking. It's pretty gnarly. I haven't seen it in a while, and I gotta find it. But I remember seeing like the ads on Thursday Night SmackDown and shit like that. So on UPN or whatever. And anyway, that's an underrated gem. But yeah, 99 was a banger. Anyway,
so yeah, let's kind of bring us into the now. So much has changed in terms of our movie watching experiences, whether that's at the theater or at home. So we kind of already talked about what it was like in the theater when we were growing up. What's it like when you go to the theater now, Chad?
I've the last 3 newest movies I went to was Bloodlines, Fight or Flight, and Accountant 2. Those are the last 3 films. Kind of in order going backwards. And all 3 times, the first 2, Accountant 2 and Fight or Flight, were both on opening night, Friday nights. And Bloodlines was a couple of days later. It was like on a Tuesday. So it wasn't very full, but even the last 2 weren't very full. So I'm not sure if it was the time I went, because it was a Friday and it was like 7 or 8 that we went both times.
Prime time. As someone who worked in a theater once at one point in my life, that's hopping.
Yeah,
it should be hopping.
And I mean, I went to the theater a lot as a kid. I mean, even in my high school years, we went to the movie a lot.
It felt like every weekend, or at least every other weekend.
And it was always busy. I mean, there was always a movie. I mean, there was always some movie that you wanted to watch. But
especially on like $2 Tuesdays. Did you guys have that over where you are in California? Did you guys ever have like a day where they would everything's $2? We had a whole theater that everything was $2. Tickets, popcorn, soda, everything was $2.
We just had the matinee.
We were there a lot.
we just had the matinee before 5 p.m. or something like that. It was like $5.
Yeah, we had that as well.
Yeah, that was pretty much the only thing we had. But I gotta say, even though it was like that, there wasn't a whole lot of people in all three movies. It was still enjoyable because I was sitting there with my popcorn, my drink, watching a movie on the big screen. Don't get me wrong. I watched some of the newer releases at home, from Fandango when they become available. And it's nice. It's convenient. It's in the long run cheaper because you only pay like maybe $20, to rent it. You got popcorn at home. You can just make that,
Oh yeah.
And it's cheaper, but at the same time, it doesn't beat seeing a movie in the theater. It's supposed to be an experience, and I hate to say it though, but maybe as good as movies are nowadays, I think even for some of my favorites, like even some of my modern favorites, for me, it just seems soulless. And from what I mean by that is, like, you can take a look. That's why some of these older movies are still being talked about. That's why there's there's Facebook groups dedicated to some of these movies.
Oh yeah, dude. Anything has a fucking Facebook group these days.
But I mean, time will tell on some of these movies being made nowadays. But I mean, okay, do I think Ben Affleck's best role to date is the accountant from The Accountant? Maybe. Probably. I mean, he's pretty good in that role. Even in part 2. I don't know if you've seen that yet, but even in part 2.
Not yet. Nope.
He's pretty good in that role. He is very good in that role. And not saying he hasn't been really good before, but do you think that holds up to... I mean, The Town was pretty good. That's pretty memorable, but like, I don't know. For me, Ben Affleck will always be tied to Armageddon. He'll always be AJ Frost to me.
Fair enough.
There's some actors, and I don't know why I see this, but like some actors will never, no matter what they do, maybe it's unfair, but just to me, they'll always be that,
Yeah, I think we all have that to some extent or another.
Yeah, but I mean, Armageddon has a shit fucking rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
But you got Aerosmith.
It got dog shit reviews, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. But it's a fucking movie. Like, who gives a fuck?
Right? You fucking watch it, you move on with your life.
Fucking Deep Impact is a lot more fucking accurate. Okay, and that's a great movie, but I'd rather watch fucking Armageddon.
I'm with you, man. I would rather watch Armageddon, the Deep Impact, which I also like. But
Armageddon is cinema. Tony Crespo said it. It's cinema.
I thought you were quoting Scorsese first.
No, me and Tony have talked about this. It's that makes you, even though it's corny as fuck, cheesy as fuck. Some of Bruce's dialogue.
Well, look at the time it came out, man.
I know, but like. But still, it was still a little. Some of it hasn't like. It's like, oh, come on. But I mean, it's part of the fun, I get it. But it's so absurd and so crazy. But you go through it all in that movie. It's a fucking roller coaster, and that's another thing. It's a big deal. It's something about having a movie and with a song from a band like that. Like Aerosmith, have a hit like that.
Don't want to close my eyes.
Yeah, it just made it seem that much bigger. But I saw that in theaters, and that movie blew me away. I loved Armageddon. I know it's a goofy ass movie, and Steve Buscemi fucking shooting that machine gun and shit. We could take out this asteroid single handedly.
But I think we can both agree that the whole movie-going theater experience has certainly changed than what it was when we were
Oh
growing up.
yeah.
But why do you think
Well,
that is? Like, what do you think is like the cause of that? Because to
well,
me, it
it's
just
like I've
feels
been
like
saying.
that magic isn't there anymore. Like
It's
even
like
when
I've
you
been
go.
saying. It's just like that type of movie doesn't exist anymore. Like,
True.
I've said this multiple times on multiple past streams, whatever, live recorded. It seems like the type of movies we grew up on, the 90s, all that stuff that we grew up on, our formative years, to me,
Yeah.
that kind of filmmaking, storytelling, whatever, just landscape of film, I guess, changed in 2005. Or I think 2005 was the last great year of film, to me personally. And don't get me wrong, there's been a lot of great films since then,
Yeah.
but like that,
It was different.
it
Yeah.
was just, I mean, it's hard to explain, but like you can just tell when you watch a movie, you can just tell when it was made. Oh, that's early 2000s. Oh, that's late
Yeah.
90s. Oh, that's mid 90s. Oh, early 90s. Fucking 80s, 70s, so on and so forth, right? Just, I don't know, that type of, I mean, okay. The original Scream trilogy
Yeah.
compared to what we got since.
With
Same,
like 5 and 6 and stuff.
yeah, same, but not quite the same. You know what I mean? Like still same,
Right. Yeah, no, I
but
get
not
you.
same.
Right.
It's just hard to, I don't know. It's just hard to, it's almost like we peaked and we're just now we're on a plateau.
Yeah.
Or slightly falling, and I guess because if you're not a superhero movie or a kids movie or a fucking horror movie, you really don't have a shot.
Or like Fast and Furious and Jurassic Park and shit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, okay. Fucking Rebirth.
God, I opened up a can of worms. Shit.
Has it even been that long to have a fucking Rebirth yet? Let it die. And then fucking rebirth it fucking 10 years from now. Scarlett Johansson? Nothing against Scarlett, but what the fuck? You just went to another Avenger? Like, what are we doing here?
Went to another Avenger.
What's the point?
This one's not working out. Give me another one.
Well, what's the point of a new one? There's no point. Leave it alone for a little bit. As great as the first Jurassic World was, it quickly overstayed its fucking welcome.
Yeah,
over the next two whatever.
No doubt.
Again,
yeah.
Say what you will about Lost World, the original Lost World,
which I like.
The real Lost World. Yeah, exactly. Same.
Yeah.
I saw that in fucking theaters.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I saw that in fucking theaters. Yeah, I saw that in theaters. That was a fun one. Yeah,
there was a lot of merch for that one too.
Dude, I had a lot of it. I had a lot of it. Yeah, I mean, come on. What are we doing? Megan 2, fuck off. that trailer annoyed the fuck out of me.
And I completely get it.
I don't know
we were talking about this, how
like, what?
You know, I'm looking forward to it because they're embracing that. Yeah, we know it's ridiculous and silly. Let's just have some fun. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll still be dog shit for all I know. But I can at least respect that they're embracing it fully. Because one of my problems with the first one is that it didn't know like what tone it wanted to have. Because at times it's like more serious, more
It just makes me
grounded.
miss Chucky even more.
And then all of a sudden she's doing TikTok dances. You know what I mean? Like that movie didn't really have a good set tone, and this at least looks like they're having a consistent tone.
Sitting there watching the trailer when it came on at Bloodlines, I was seriously embarrassed when they started dancing. I was like, I'm not even a defender.
I still don't like the dancing
movie.
shit, but whatever. It's the fucking.
I'm not even a defender, but it's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like, it was okay. It was fine. I never really want to watch it again.
I have no desire to really go back to it either.
And I think that's why I want to. I don't want to watch this. It's just an unneeded, unnecessary sequel, in my opinion.
So I think it's safe to say that you will probably be watching this one when it's streaming for free at home, if anything. Right?
If that, I mean, fuck, there might be something better, like 70s Show.
Yeah.
I would honestly pick 70s Show over Megan 2.0.
Dude, I still watch that 70s Show. I'll put it on at night while I'm eating dinner sometimes. I love watching that show still. But yeah, that leads us into our main topic for this episode, an hour into the show, which, by the way, if you guys have stuck with us so far, thank you. You guys are awesome. But now we're going to get to the topic at hand. We're talking about how, again, we grew up in the physical media age, but now we're very much in the digital age. So we're going to talk about the pros and cons of both, but first I want to know, just tell the people, what were you collecting back when you were growing up, and are you still collecting now, and kind of how have your collecting habits kind of changed over the years? Because I find mine changes every couple of years.
Yeah, right.
So where kind of you at right now, and where were you before?
Right now I'm not doing so much, unless it's like something I have to have, but I was like just trying to get a bunch of stuff that I had lost over the years, like just updated, so I can have a newer copy and just to have it again. But mostly it's like Blu-rays, mostly. If I have to get a DVD or something because it's not on Blu-ray, then but back in the day, it was definitely DVDs. I had quite a few. I had quite a collection. They were all stolen, unfortunately, out of my mom's garage one winter. But anyway, so I did lose a lot. Getting a lot back. I've had quite a bit. It was mostly like, the X-Men movies, superhero movies, or horror movies. A few comedies thrown in, but mostly, mostly those.
And then do you have your own like digital library like on Vudu? I know it's called like Fandango at home. I'm always going to call it fucking Vudu, but do you have like your own little library on that?
Yep.
Do you like it? How do you feel about it?
I mean, I can go through it real quick. Actually, let me bring it up.
You don't have to go through it. I'm just saying.
Well, I need like a little refresher anyway. What I got?
Go ahead if you still want to.
I mean, it's nice having a bunch of different movies here, just ready to go whenever. But like, I just bought Friday 6 through 8 just because I wanted to watch them. But like,
nice.
I have Oh Brother Where Art Thou, Con Air, Fanboys, Infinity Pool, Deadpool, Austin Powers, Hateful Eight. I have a bunch of Quentin stuff, Screams. I mean, it's nice to have some of these because for me, the pros and cons for, physical and digital, some of these you can't find physical.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And vice versa. Some physical you can't find on streaming. For some reason, Airheads isn't streaming.
I know. And that pisses me off.
And example was 28 Days Later. Wasn't streaming for the longest time, and then it just came out streaming, a couple months ago?
Yep. So I'll get into that because I I'll kind of talk about my perspective of that whole thing. Yeah, growing up, I collected a lot of VHSs, but for me, 100%, it was the DVD era. Like, that's what I had a massive
Right.
collection in. And my house, when I was a kid, when I was living in that house, got broken into one night. And a lot of that shit got stolen as well. So I know how that goes, 100%.
Yeah,
And it sucks. And, some of that stuff I still haven't gotten back to this day. Just some of that stuff you can't find anymore.
Yeah. A lot of my uncle's recorded stuff I can't get back, which sucks, but
and then things would get lost, like whenever I would move somewhere, like some things would get misplaced there somehow. Sometimes money gets tight, and you got to downsize the collection, you got to sell a few, make a few extra bucks. So I've lost a lot that way. But yeah, definitely growing up in that, I had a lot for sure, and I was quite proud of that collection. It was like my own personal video store, which I think any active collector wants their collection to be, is like their own personal video store at home. Kind of takes us back to that era. But now that's kind of shifted a little bit. I still buy physical media. I still love buying physical media. Again, I'm limited on space, so I can only buy so much at a time, and I'll have to get rid of some to make room for new ones. But at the time when I was growing up, I was the type of person that would buy like anything and everything, whether I've seen it, haven't seen it. I just wanted a good variety. I wanted a good selection at home, like no matter what I was in the mood for. And I'm also someone who likes a little bit of everything anyway.
Right.
But nowadays I'm much different. Now physically I only buy like new editions of favorites that have come out, some new releases that I really like enough that I think are purchase worthy. Like that's kind of the stuff that I'll buy physically now. And then digital, it's very much become how it used to be with my physical collection. I buy like almost anything and everything. I blind buy stuff all the time. The reason for that is because we share our account with like my closest friend and his sister and stuff like that. And so it's kind of like a digital video store is how I look at it. So they always have stuff to watch, and we share each other's like Paramount Plus and Netflix and all that kind of shit like that. We, some of us will have a couple, and then we'll kind of just trade passwords whenever we want to use it. And so that's one reason why I do kind of quantity over quality on the digital side, but quality over quantity on the physical side. So that's kind of like, and yeah, there are absolutely pros and cons to both. Do you have a pro that you wanted to kind of talk about regarding digital, pro on the digital side? You kind of already mentioned convenience. Did you want to go into that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, physical, you have to get up and go look for it,
we're just lazy, we'll put it that way.
I mean, when you have a big collection, it does become a pain in the ass because you're looking everywhere for something and you can't fucking find it, and you got like 3 spots it might be. Digital does make it convenient that it's pretty much all right there. I mean, just bring it up and
just a few clicks.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot easier. Yes, looking through, right here. I can either pick a Johnny Depp Forrest Whitaker movie, Jay and Silent Bob, Uncut Gems, Midsummer.
It's all right there.
Jurassic
Sounds
World.
unorganized as shit, but yeah.
It is. Studio 66, X, Magnificent Seven, The Wrong Turn remake, and Pearl. So
quite the variety there.
It's very all over the place, but the convenience is a plus. I'll give it that. The convenience is a plus. And I mean, I
would agree with you.
Like, I mean, if you're a VHS guy, you got to go find the VHS. What if it's not rewound? Then you got to rewind it. DVD, you got to boot up the DVD player or the fucking PS4 or whatever it is you got, and then put it in. When here you can just press play. I mean, that's a plus. It is nice.
I pretty much I agree with you completely on that point. I really don't have much else to add. Bottom line, we're lazy. We don't always want to get up and put in a disc. We don't want to look for the physical copy. We could just have it right there. Again, another reason why I buy stuff digitally and not just strictly stick with like streaming services like Paramount and Netflix and Hulu and all that stuff like that is because stuff gets taken off of there and put on
Yeah,
all the fucking time, and you
exactly.
never. It's too much to keep up with. Like you never know what's
Yeah,
leaving and what's going to be on there. So I like to kind of have my own library. Of my own that I know I can always go to whenever I
I wish I
fucking
had more
want.
TV shows though. I do.
We got a good amount of TV shows. I think we got like over 300 different seasons. But you got to remember, some shows last like 10 seasons, 15 seasons. It all depends
Right.
on the show. But I
Right.
think the count of seasons that we have is like 350 or something like that. And then movie wise, we got over 2,000 now. I think we're 2012, 2013, last I checked the numbers. But so it's quite the collection on digital. I have quite the collection on physical as well. You can't really tell here because I don't have everything in one spot. But
Oh,
yeah,
and
no, my
one
physical is
con-
definitely downsized over the years, though.
Yeah, yeah. I do have to say one con though about digital is how many, depending on like if you buy a physical copy of something
Yeah,
and it comes with a digital code, they go to like 4 different fucking apps. It's like it'll go to either Movies Anywhere, Vudu or Fandango, Apple TV, or some. I think those 3. Maybe Amazon Prime, but I think those 3
probably.
for sure. So
Yeah, I think Prime is
it's
definitely one of them.
Yeah, it's like any fucking combination. It's like, why can't they just all go to the same place? That is a con, because then it's like, well, wait, I have a lot of copies, but then I have only like Scream 5 on Apple. But I have
that's stupid.
on fucking
Yeah, I got nothing to defend there.
Anywhere.
That's
so that is one thing that I dislike for sure. But the convenience is nice.
All right, so I got a pro for the physical. People talk about all the time how when you watch things on digital, a lot of times the video quality is like decompressed and the sound isn't as good, and I find that is absolutely true. Like you could still watch a movie and have a great experience with it on digital, but the disc is always just going to be slightly better, sometimes significantly better, depending on the movie.
For sure.
So one pro is, again, if you want the highest viewing experience you can possibly get, go physical. 100%. Did you have anything you wanted to add to that, or maybe a con that you have on the physical side?
No, I agree. Remember how good DVDs sounded?
Oh yeah.
That was crazy. From being old enough to remember going from VHS to DVD, I didn't realize DVDs came out as early as 96.
Yeah. Speaking of, I'm gonna do a short on that very soon on the very first American release DVD. So maybe if you guys want to do some Googling before I do that short, because I don't know when I'm gonna do it, but I do want to cover that in like a little short one day. Okay, but yeah, 1996.
I remember. I think it was Eraser was the first, the VHS, but that's the first one that I saw an ad for DVD. So that was 96. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That was, talk about a fucking almost forgotten Schwarzenegger movie. Does anybody remember Eraser?
Barely. Like I remember it exists, but I don't remember the movie very much.
Dude, it's actually a pretty good movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to it. It's been way too
fucking
long.
Aliens. He's one of the bad guys in it. He just ran. I watched it. I was like, oh fuck, it's Drake. What the fuck's he doing in this movie? But it's actually a pretty good movie. It's a pretty good, underrated, even for Schwarzenegger.
Again, kind of talking about like that period. You were talking. I think you brought this up earlier in another point. The recorded VHS tapes where you would have like 3 or 4 movies recorded from television on one fucking tape. Man,
yeah.
I definitely had a lot of those. I don't know about you.
Oh, for sure, dude. Some of them were like Amazon Women of the Moon or some shit like that. A lot of weird shit and it was on the USA Network. But then like shit like Street Trash or even some like Tromaville shit, Toxic Avenger, shit like that. Class of Nukem High was another one. I was like, what
Damn.
the fuck is this, dude? But I mean, I learned to love those fucking goofy ass movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, fuck. Reanimator. I was gonna also say he was a big fan of Reanimator. So
hell yeah.
like, remember when Beyond Reanimator came out in like 04 whatever, or 03?
Yeah.
Was it 03? Okay, he invited us over. He barbecued and everything, and we all fucking sat and watched it. And it was it was awesome, dude.
My kind
It
of
was
party.
so great. But yeah, I forgot to mention Reanimator. That was another big meaningful movie that like left a mark. That and fucking not Evil Dead, but fucking
Today, Junior.
the Darkness. Fucking
Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness. That and fucking Darkman. That was another one.
Yeah.
That was another one.
Reanimator. That's one of my top 10 favorite horror films of all. Probably in the top 5, if I'm being honest. And I'm gonna do a video on that movie very, very soon. So look out for that.
He grew up 20 minutes south of me in a town called Lompoc.
Who did?
Lompoc.
Herbert West. Fucking, nice.
Jeffrey.
Fuck. I'm too high for this shit right now.
Jeffrey Combs.
Jeffrey Combs. Thank you.
Jeffrey Combs. Yes, he grew up 20 minutes south of me. Yeah. Same with the guy who played Kang, but I guess we don't talk about him anymore.
Oh, Mr. Majors. Yeah.
Yeah, he was down there too. Same time.
So, yeah, the recorded video. Was your family ones that would keep the commercials intact, or would they try to like skip over those when they recorded it?
I'm pretty sure he kept them intact.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, because that's when I saw. Yeah, that's when I. Yeah, pretty sure he kept them intact.
Dude, I had commercials memorized because of those tapes.
Yeah. I remember a lot of like Silverado commercials with the song "Like a Rock." Like a rock. Oh, like a rock.
Yeah, I remember having a lot of those USA Up All Night promos come on all the time.
Yeah. It was always like Monster Vision or Elvira.
And then on some of the Disney Channel stuff, we would have like the Disney here coming up at 8 p.m. 7 Central on Disney Channel. Like we would have a lot of those. What a time! But
dude, we got to do a thing.
Go ahead.
We got to do a thing on original Disney Channel original movies.
I'm down, dude, because I got a ton I like.
Oh, dude, so many.
I got some I still watch. Like I'll still pop on from time to time.
For sure. Dude,
thank you, Disney Plus.
Still hold up. Yeah,
Pro for digital. Disney Plus. You could say what you want about Disney as a company and the quality of the shows, but they have our old catalog on there. We can go back to those old DComs anytime we want, thanks to Disney Plus. So.
I don't get as upset as most people because I just don't care enough.
I don't either. Yeah,
I don't see the point. I really don't. If they wanted, it doesn't matter. I mean, I don't care.
If they do something I like, great. If not, whatever. It is what it is.
I don't remember people getting mad when Samuel L. Jackson was the new Nick Fury. I think he's awesome as Nick Fury.
Yeah, I don't think anybody got mad.
No one wants to remember David Hasselhoff as Nick Fury. If we can,
I would like to see him again, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson is Nick Fury, but I mean, it's like, who cares? Who cares? Like, leave it alone. Who cares? If that's what they're gonna do, that's what they're gonna do.
One con I have for physical, we kind of already talked about this. There is the risk of your shit getting stolen. Or getting lost or damaged. You could loan it out to a friend. They could bring it back all fucked up if they even bring it back at all. Because I've had friends who never return shit. And with digital, you kind of don't have to worry about that. You do to an extent, but I'll kind of talk about that in a minute. But yeah, no, I think that is one con on the physical side, over digital. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, can't really add anything. Yeah, I agree.
But, so again, we kind of brought up the whole 28 days later thing, because one con for the digital side is sometimes they can remove stuff without warning, and
Airhead.
even if you bought it, like, let's be very clear, when you buy something digitally, you don't own it. You're owning the right to watch it from on their service,
Right, right.
so they can take things away. Now, I know people have had that experience. I've been building up my digital library for probably actively for the past 4 or 5 years, maybe. I've had it longer than that, where I just had like 5 movies on there for a while there. But actively, it's been the past 4 or 5 years. Not once did I have anything ever removed from my digital library.
Yeah,
But that's my experience.
I don't remember anything of mine being removed,
but
other than Airheads.
yeah, I know that those things do happen. They are out there, and it's something to be aware of. But again, I think the risk.
I looked up that wasn't streaming, but I forgot what it was.
The thing with the 28 days later thing is I had already bought it by that point, so when it got removed from the digital platforms, I was still able to watch it. So like that didn't get removed for me. I think it was only removed and like you couldn't buy it, but I think if you still had it, and I think if you had it, you were fine, because I had it and I was still able to watch it when it wasn't available to buy anymore, which is a weird thing. But I remember that 28 days later thing very well when that went down. I was like, because I even double checked. I was like, it's not there. Is it still in my library? Sure enough, it was. So
right.
But yeah, if it's a favorite of yours or it's a movie that you really like, just get a physical copy of it, even if it's like a DVD, which to be honest, I might start collecting more of lately, because I'm getting really nostalgic for those DVDs and shit. I might have to start buying some old school ones again. I've been thinking about that, but so yeah,
some of them,
yeah. All right, so give me another pro or con if you got any of either physical, digital. Think of.
Well, I mean, what if the Wi-Fi goes out?
Oh, that is a good one.
Some people are in areas where sometimes Wi-Fi goes out.
That would be a con for the digital.
Yeah, I mean, that's where physical comes into play. And plus, I mean, there's just, to me, again, just me, I don't know about anybody else, but like, there's something about holding a movie in your hand.
Yep.
Checking it out, I mean, whether it's a VHS, a DVD, or Blu-ray, there's just something about the artwork, the packaging, like just the whole.
This is kind of just like the first one that I grabbed on the shelf here, but yeah, just to be able to like hold it in your hand, look at the artwork, again, it reminds me of the video store days, because that's how I would used to pick out movies a lot of times.
Right.
Go based on the cover art, based on what I read on the back, and while you can look at that, while you're scrolling through a page on a platform, again, it's not the same. It doesn't literally and metaphorically hold the same weight as actually holding a case up. So
here's actually a pretty good example.
By the way, shout out Camp Nowhere, check it
out. Nice.
Go ahead.
Here's a pretty good example. I can say from personal experience. My Special Boy, came out on fucking YouTube.
Yep.
And later came out was released as physical. Right. It came out on YouTube. It was a pretty cool thing. It was pretty badass to see it in a theater. I mean, although I only maybe saw about 10-15 minutes of the film. Otherwise, I was out in the fucking lobby or in the hallway with James, because we were fucking, our nerves were just all over the place.
For context, for anybody who doesn't know, My Special Boy is the Friday the 13th fan film where Chad played Jason. If you guys didn't know what he was talking about, go ahead.
Anyway, it came out, on YouTube. It was a big deal. It was cool. But when James called me to come by and pick up my Blu-ray and all that, just holding that, it was like, wow, you know?
Yeah.
It was like, and then even seeing like, you know, the Last Nightmare Part 1s, I mean, just seeing the artwork for that, it's like, wow, that's crazy. You know, it's like, you know, fucking, you know, that's,
dude, I love that poster. I love
like,
it.
That, to have that, you fucking piece of shit.
Dude, lighting can be a bitch for anyone who like makes content, makes kind of videos, and lighting is involved. You guys know.
You can see
it's beautiful.
But anyway, to have that as a Blu-ray, and I have both a Blu-ray and DVD. It's pretty cool. But it just, it was just, like I said, just something about the whole package, the artwork, the way it's, you know, laid out. I don't know. It just and like you said, you own that. It's not.
Yeah,
you know, in here,
it's not going anywhere, right?
Yeah, you know. Yeah, you don't own these. They could go away at any moment. And like I said, if there's no Wi-Fi, you know, me and my brother-in-law went camping. There's no Wi-Fi up there, so I took a bunch of DVDs and we just watched a bunch of DVDs. So, some probably won't watch again because they were, you know, real cheap fucking, you know, Dolph Lundgren action movies or some shit.
So like dollar store finds and shit.
Pretty much, yeah. Remember when I was heavy in my dollar store finds?
Yeah,
and then
man.
like one was Freddie.
There's
Got
some
fingered
wild
with
shit at
Tom
the
Green.
fucking dollar store.
Oh, dude,
Like,
I found some gems. You know that.
Yeah,
I found some good ones, but yeah, there's just, you know, like I said, there's a lot of pros. I think overall physical is more accessible because it's there. It's right there. You know, it's like I said, you don't need a Wi-Fi. If you have a TV and a fucking, you know, VCR, DVD player, or Blu-ray player, you're good to go. You know, or if you have a, you know, like I said, a PS4 or something that plays DVDs, even a PS2 to play a fucking DVD. That's what I used to play all my DVDs on.
Hell yeah, man! I forgot about
that. So, I mean, you know, physical. As long as they keep making physical, honestly, I don't think anything will ever beat it. Yes, digital may be convenient at times.
Yeah,
but honestly, if you're a movie fan, I think 90 to 95%. I'm going to say roughly 90 to 95%, somewhere in between there, would pick physical.
Yeah.
Because there's just no beating it.
So I kind of have two kind of final questions regarding this topic, at least. First off, do you think physical media is ever going to die? Because I say no, it's never going to fully die.
I mean,
like, even though we are in the digital age and technology is advancing and all that, I still don't think physical will ever go away. I think it will always be around, and in some way, shape, or form.
They've been saying that, and it hasn't happened yet. And honestly, I think...
In fact, I think it's kind of having a bit of a resurgence, if
I was going to say...
honest, with all this boutique labels and all the things that they're doing.
I was going to say, because, I mean, the nostalgia is coming back for it. I mean, look at, like, the Stab fake case that came, you know, I have one of those. The light up VHS tapes, you know, I have a Friday 13th one that lights up, but
dude,
people are collecting those again. People are looking for DVDs again. Some people are still looking for Blu. I mean, like you said, it's making a
There's
resurgence.
a lot of VHS collectors out there. I mean, I have
Oh,
some,
for sure.
but I don't have like a massive VHS collection anymore. But I do have
I
some
only have a
VHS.
handful anymore. It sucks. I wish I had.
I like
kept
buying them from time to time, yeah, but that's not something that I'm like always looking.
Yeah,
to
I mean,
adding on to.
The last one I got was a copy of Halloween Resurrection from Bert, which was cool. That and,
I got a couple VHS tapes signed recently.
Oh, that's cool.
I got my Clerks one signed, my Chasing Amy scary movie. I got signed my VHS of that. So
nice.
Yeah, like I still have some. But
he got me that one, and he got me The Punisher with Thomas Jane.
Fuck yeah!
So that was cool. But I have to still ask fucking Newey to send me a picture of the My Special Boy VHS. He said it turned out really cool, and I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it in person. James didn't have a copy of it yet, but damn, I hope it's cool.
And then I also wanted to bring this up too, because this just drives me off the fucking wall whenever I see this shit. It's very much like the Marvel versus DC debate. I see a lot of people who are very much of the mindset of fuck digital, physical media all the way. And look, I get the sentiment, and it's great to have a preference. I'm not saying you can't have a preference, but I also think it's okay to like both. As we've talked about tonight in this episode, there are pros and cons to both sides of it.
Yeah.
You can absolutely, like, if you're asking me, I prefer physical media. But conveniently, I usually watch more digital these days. Just to again, it's convenient. It's right there.
Right.
But if you're asking me a preference between physical and digital, I'm always going to say physical. Because I have so many memories with that growing up. I'm too attached to physical media. But let's be honest, people, you can like both. You can like one more than the other, but that whole mindset of fuck the other side completely. I see the same thing with fucking Marvel and DC fans. I'm just like, guys, you can like both. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like my DVDs to be fucked up, and somehow moving my Austin Power trilogy got fucked up.
It happens. Yeah, it happens. It happened to me a lot.
And like the whole packaging was just fucked up. The discs were scratched to shit. I don't know what happened. I was so mad. I can't watch them like that, obviously. But I have them on here, and I'd be really sad if they ever took them off, because I'd have to actually go find them again. Which they're at Walmart, but I don't want to pay for another fucking So that's nice having them all right there, but one of these days I'll have to break down and buy the physical again. But
and another thing with me on my end is, I got a fucking toddler, and when he was like a baby and didn't know shit, like he ripped some of my cases up, like some of my slip cases, some of the plastic on, like, and some of those got kind of fucked up from that too. And again, moves, getting the house getting broken into when I was a kid. There's just, again, sometimes shit happens, and it's always nice to have.
Our dogs chewed up my H2O fucking.
It's nice to have a digital copy there that doesn't get ruined. Because you can always replace the physical one. But what's up?
Which pissed off Braden, but I'll tell you why. So you remember that it was some random 3-pack or 4-pack of Halloween movies, and it was like,
it was like 6 H2O and Resurrect. It was that Dimension Miramax,
something like that. Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I think it was that one. And
we've all been to Walmart. We've seen it.
Yeah, so I had those. I was like, all right, cool. And so we got a new dog at the time. This was a couple years ago, but she was a husky, and we come home one night. I don't know where we were, but my H2O fucking case is just chewed to shit all over the place. I'm like, you fucking. So the H2O disc has been in the Resurrection case ever since. With Resurrection.
I've had a double up like that sometimes. Isn't that it's kind of a shameful feeling. Like it's humiliating.
It pissed me off. I was like, motherfucking dog chewed up that fucking movie. But whatever.
It is what it is, man. So
Was the DVD or the VHS in Wayward?
I don't remember.
Right next to fucking H2O. I think it was DVD. Oh well, it might have been there. It's technically in the movie.
So yeah, in conclusion, guys, we think there's pros to both physical media and digital media, and we think there's cons to both as well. So again, have your preferences all you want, do what you want to do. Again, don't be part of the fuck one side at the other side rules kind of mentality, because I hate that shit. But yeah, anything else you kind of wanted to say on that whole thing there?
As convenient as Fandango at home is, keep movies alive and go to the movies. Go to the theater.
I know. I need to do that.
And if you do that, then if you do, well, I mean, I am too. But honestly, the last couple times I've been have been a lot of fun. And like I said, it just doesn't beat that. I mean, yeah, like I said, convenience is king, but it just, I don't know. It just doesn't beat that feeling. So go to the movies, keep the movies going, and then watch it home if you want to watch it again.
Yeah, I'll kind of dive into this to kind of bring this conversation back around to the conversation we were having earlier. But yeah, I watch a lot of shit at home these days because the movie going experience has changed. It's not just the prices going up. We got the kid. Can't always get a babysitter and go out all the time. We're always tired from work. And then when you do go, you're spending so much on tickets and concessions, and then you get in the theater, which I do like that at least here we have reserved seating now, where you can actually pick your seats ahead of time. Yeah. I do like that because I'm guaranteed my seat no matter what when I do it that way. But and then you get there, you sit down, and then I don't know, man. These crowds are just getting worse and worse every time I go. So that is another big factor why. Yeah. Now, to be fair, I haven't gone to the movies to really see a lot of new stuff in the past, like maybe 2-3 years especially. I've really kind of cut down on that. The last few times I've been to the theater was mostly for older titles that I either saw on the big screen when they first came out and wanted to re-experience, or things that I didn't have a chance to see on the big screen when they first came out. Like Wizard of Oz was one a couple years ago that I went and saw. I wasn't around in the fucking 1930s when that movie came out. And they're always showing that movie anyway. But Spider-Man 2, I got to go for the 20th anniversary of last year. That was a fucking blast. I felt like I was 6 years old or however old I was. Like I felt like I was a kid again going to see it the first time around. All those feelings came back. And the disruptive crowds don't go to those movies because they could just watch them at home. Would we go? So like I enjoy going to the movies more these days to watch older titles than I do for new titles. So a lot of new titles I'll just wait until they hit digital or home release to watch them.
Real quick, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade will be playing in theaters Father's Day weekend.
Hell yeah. I heard something that I heard something that the Ninja Turtles movie's coming back to theaters this year to celebrate the anniversary. I know we're getting some 4Ks.
But isn't that in July? When did it come out? I thought it would have already. Well,
I think the anniversary date already passed, but I don't think they've shown it in the theaters yet. Episode 3 was very successful. That just had its anniversary screenings, and that did very well. Like a lot of people went and saw. Wait.
What's up? Oh yeah, episode 3. Jesus. Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
Holy crap. All right.
But so that's kind of like where my movie experiences are kind of at nowadays. I do watch a lot of new shit at home, but I will venture out to the theater occasionally for like a special event, or if it's like a new release, something like Saw or Scream, where if the surprise
was pretty epic.
That too, but also if it's a movie where spoilers are gonna alter my entire viewing experience, like a twist ending in Saw, like a killer reveal in Scream, I will go as soon as possible to go watch that fucking movie because everyone spoils shit on the internet these days. So I will go to the theater for like new shit like that. But that's kind of where I am. Although there was one like within the last couple years that I saw at home first and was kind of mad at myself that I didn't see in the theater because I wanted that experience. It was Top Gun Maverick because I was like, I like the original Top Gun fine. It's not nearly my favorite Tom Cruise movie, but I like it for what
This was way better.
And so I wasn't expecting too much going into Top Gun Maverick. I was just like, yeah, I'll just watch it at home. No big deal. Hopefully it's good. And then I watched it. I was like, I should have seen this on the biggest fucking screen I could.
Yeah.
Because that's an experience. You know what I mean?
Okay. Tony Todd gets a Val Kilmer scene. That's the best. That's a pretty good comparison. Yeah. They both got their respect, I should say.
Good. Yeah, that Val Kilmer scene is it's hard to get through.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But Maverick as a movie was fucking that was a nice experience.
It was incredible. Like I was blown away by that movie.
The Mission Impossible movies in theaters are always fun. They're a big spectacle.
I'm like 3 behind on those. I got to catch up. Like 3 Mission Impossible movies behind.
The last one I saw in theaters was Fallout. I haven't seen The Reckoning, but I want to see that before I go see Reckoning 2 because my dad wants to go see Reckoning 2.
Yeah, I'll probably catch up when the new one hits digital because I have all the rest of them. I think the last one I actually watched was Ghost Protocol, which was fucking awesome.
I think they're all on Paramount.
Yeah.
Or one of them.
Anybody who wants to watch the Mission Impossible movies, check Paramount.
I think Final Destination's on HBO, and the other one's Paramount.
That would be Warner Brothers. Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's all I got. I'm gonna go eat some dinner.
That's all I got too, man. So what do you got coming up? Where can people find you online if they want to follow you and shit? What's coming up for you?
Chad KC on Instagram, Chad Sumner on Facebook. I don't really post much, but Rough Chad Productions on Instagram. Me and Bert will be doing a first real watch or real-time watch or something. I always forget the name. Real First Watch, I think, is what it is. We got one of those coming up. I got to pick the movie.
Oh boy.
I picked usual Suspects for him the first time, and then I already made him watch Bad Biology, so I'll make sure it's a good one.
Nice.
I'll make sure it's a good one.
As far as me, I have definitely some stuff coming up on the channel. I got some recording to do. I got to work some schedules out still. We got a live stream coming up, though, depending on when you guys are seeing this. You guys, if you're watching this episode right away, the show's still coming up, but maybe you find this episode a year from now. But on June 15th, or not June 15th, June 13th, I should say, we were doing a Friday the 13th special live stream kind of talking about all the movies. Very excited for that. And then on June 15th, I do have something coming out, but that'll be pre-recorded. It's going to be a 30-year retrospective look back on a Goofy movie, which I have a lot of memories with, and I'm excited to talk about. I got Cody from Dude Who Loves Movies coming on for that. So yeah, I got some stuff coming. It's just a matter of when I'm going to actually get them out, which will be as soon as I can. So yeah, there is, if you guys want to follow me, all my links are down in the description box below. It takes you to my link tree where all my links are in one spot. So you can find me there and stuff like that. I'm going to try to get these podcast episodes up on Spotify. I can't make any promises, but I'll try to do that, and I'll try to keep up with it. So that way, if you guys want to just listen on Spotify, you can hopefully do that. But if you're watching on YouTube, thanks for watching. I'm not one to usually say, hey, give a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe. I'm not usually one of those channels, but do drop a like if you like this. That just lets us know that you guys like what we're doing. You guys would watch more of what we're doing. I had fun recording this first episode, and I'm excited to see what the show's going to turn into as we kind of doing it for one. But I had a good time. So yeah, guys, let us know. Anything else you wanted to add, Ruff?
Yeah.
Not a damn thing, huh? All right. Well, we're going to call it a night, guys.
It'll build
Thanks, everybody. we will see you guys on the other shows and on the next episode of the Tales from the Misfits podcast.
Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes!